Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom lived postmodern Parker. One day, Parker was walking through his new kingdom, since he was banished from his old kingdom for asking questions like, "Why don't I have a say?" and "Why can't we eat this?" when he stumbled across the large, elegant church of the kingdom. He saw multiple people walking in, so he curiously decided to go in too. Once inside, he saw rows and rows of pews full of people singing in unison. After the song, Parker went up to them and asked why they were singing. "We sing here every week. It is a tradition in the religion of the kingdom," they replied. "Do the members of every religion sing like this?" he asked. The members of the church looked puzzled and blew him off, continuing with their singing. Postmodern Parker then realized from their response that there was only one religion in this kingdom allowed by the king. Confused, Parker was not frustrated with the members of the church for not asking questions, but rather at the king for only allowing one religion. Parker believes there should be other choices. Parker realized that the members of the church were living mythically. They sing in the church simply because it is tradition, without questioning why they are singing. They cannot ask questions about the myth that they are living in, so they do not question the authority of the king to dictate the religion they follow. After coming to this realization, postmodern Parker continued on with his walk. As he walked away, he heard the people saying a prayer for the king. He thought to himself, "Somebody needs to question the king." Parker was walking along the dirt path for a while when he came to a fork in the road and heard a loud crash coming from one direction. Of course, Parker decided to again investigate. He finally reached the point where the noise came from and saw two carriages in pieces, having been involved in an accident. The drivers of the carriages were standing outside disputing what had happened. Shortly thereafter, an officer arrived to the scene as well. Each carriage driver told the officer their side of the story. The officer said, "I am here to enforce the king's law. Anyone who creates disorder in the kingdom must be punished. I am here to find out the truth." He then looked at the ground for clear evidence of hoof prints to determine how exactly the accident happened. In this case, the officer represents the scientific worldview because he is focused on finding objective evidence to find the truth. Meanwhile, postmodern Parker was watching the officer, wondering why only one of the stories could be right. Parker couldn't place blame on just one person because to him, both stories were correct. In his mind, no one can be punished. Despite postmodern Parker's confusion, he continued on his walk after witnessing one of the carriage drivers being arrested by the officer. While walking, Parker made up his mind that he needed to confront the king himself. Eventually, Parker arrived to the town square. There, he saw an artist painting a large portrait of the king. Postmodern Parker went up to the artist and asked, "Why are you painting the king?" The man replied, "I really enjoy being an artist, but the king only allows art that positively reflects his power. This isn't exactly the type of art I would like to make, but I still find the beauty in it." The artist displays the characteristics of someone in the philosophic worldview. He relates what he sees in his everyday life to forms. In this case, the king's authority to censor artwork demonstrates the form of power, yet he still manages to connect his work to the form of beauty. Parker thought about how in the philosophic worldview the forms are timeless and universal, whereas in his worldview, these timeless and universal truths do not exist. Postmodern Parker decided now was the time to talk to the king. He marched to the castle and demanded to speak with the king. Once inside, he found him sitting on his throne. "Why must everyone follow one religion? Why must there always be someone at fault? Why can the artist only paint? This is just the way it is in my kingdom. If you cannot abide by my rules, then maybe you should leave my kingdom." Parker replied, "You can't tell me what to do." Postmodern Parker then decided he should leave this kingdom. He marched down the road with his few belongings in search of another kingdom that accepts his worldview. In summary, for the postmodern mind, everything is relative. When Parker went to the church, the plurality of the postmodern mind was visible through Parker thinking there was more than one correct religion. Postmodernism aims to destruct single truths. In this case, Parker wants to pull apart the absolute truth of the king's power by being skeptical and asking questions. Additionally, the postmodern mind is accepting of other worldviews and opinions. Along his journey, Parker came across people of different worldviews, and although he did not see things in the same light as them, he was still accepting of their beliefs. Whereas those in the science worldview are on a journey to find one particular truth, those in the postmodern worldview are on a journey but are not looking for a final destination. In this story, the postmodernists did not focus on the final destination of punishing one person, but rather accepted multiple accounts as being correct. This is the journey because they are not looking for one right answer. Someone with a postmodern view would say that there is no one set meaning to life. Everyone can find meaning in their life in different ways. We hope this helped you understand the postmodern worldview. Thanks for watching.